So Lauren, over 20 years, you will have gained a unique perspective about the guides that you work with that run Ciclismo Classico trips. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Okay.
So first of all, just generally, what is so special about Ciclismo's guides?
Well, having started out as a guide myself, I think we've been successful in really connecting to the people in a very intimate way. I think what's important as a guide is really you're not just bringing people through the place, you're sharing all the bits and pieces of the local environment and the culture and the history with everyone that you meet. So I think what we try to train our guides to do is to really connect with the people, like be the connector between the tourists, the guests who we have, and the local environment. So they're really like the magnet. So, for example, if a guide knows a great place to have a cappuccino and the lady at the cappuccino place is a real fun-loving spirit, then his job really is to take the people there and to be the translator of the experience. So I think our guides are hugely successful at that, and one reason is because they're Italian and they know or they speak Italian, or they've been there forever and they know the area so well themselves. So I think we're really successful. I know we're really successful at one is just being a part of the group and understanding group dynamics, and also really connecting the people, the places with the people that are touring. We're kind of like a family member bringing you back to the old country.
And so 20 years. Cast your mind back to 20 years ago, and what was it like for the guides at the beginning? What was that experience like?
I think it's very similar to what it was today. I mean, there's nothing more exciting and more scary sometimes is when your group arrives the first day. I mean, you read about them, you read their bios, you look at their bicycles, you're imagining you imagine the group dynamics, you're getting all excited, and it's kind of like a bit of a performance. I mean, it's kind of like putting on a wonderful theater production because the people arrive and you have to, improvisational, because you have to be ready on your feet. So the skills haven't changed. Our expertise and what we can bring to the table is much, much more. But the passion that we have is still the excitement we still have to meet people. I mean, our guides, myself, we all love people. I mean, we're in the people business, and that's why we do this. We're not in the tourism business. We're really in the people business. And I know every time I'm on a trip, my excitement is all about what the people are about, who they are, learning more about them. How can we give them the most amazing experience possible?
So it sounds like this role takes a huge amount of responsibility. How do you make sure that they all have the skills, the personality, and the tools to get the job done right?
Well, we obviously have a very long application process. But on the other hand, when we meet a guide and we interact with them, we have a guide training, and that's one way to see them. We see them, we see how they interact, we understand their passion, we get a sense of their experience, and I tell you, we don't necessarily just hire cyclists. We hire people that have been in the people business. They're either teachers or they're parents, or they work with their own community. They're politicians. They're sommeliers. They're waiters. So we hire people that have people peer experience in their resume.
And how do they find us? Or do we go out and find them?
Well, most of our guides now are finding us with word of mouth. I mean, one guide, they all belong to cycling teams. They're all very active part of their cycling community, and they find us a lot of times through their own friends.
So tell me a little bit about the evolving relationship between the guides and the clients, because that can often start even before the trip sometimes, and it extends across many trips and beyond.
Right. Again, I mean, I can speak from experience. When I would start out talking to someone on the phone, and I would begin my relationship with them, then I would meet them on the trip, and the relationship would grow. And frankly, I mean, as we say in our mission statement, we want ecstatic customers for life. And I tell our guides that our relationship doesn't just end with a person going home, a guest going home. Our relationship continues, and many of our guides come to the United States and they visit customers. The customers go to Italy, they visit them. I have gone all around the country. I mean, I find incredible satisfaction in staying friends with these folks for a long time. I have customers that go back 20 years, and they've become a part of our lives. They're part of this kind of expanded Ciclismo family.
Tell me a little bit about some times when guides have gone above and beyond the call of duty on a trip.
Wow, well that just goes. I mean, that's probably almost every single trip. I mean, I know for a fact when customers, for example, are extending their stay afterwards. A lot of times our guides, if they have free time, they might meet them in, for example, in Rome and give them the walking tour around Rome. Or when on the trip, if a customer wants a particular bottle of wine, they might cycle or drive miles out of their way just to get that customer that bottle of wine.
So finally, what have you learned personally from the guides over the last 20 years?
Oh, well, I fall in love with all of them. They're all wonderful, wonderful people, just wonderful personalities. What I've learned is that that you can't replace skills with passion. I think that the guys that are passionate, things can go wrong, things can go right, and their passion doesn't go away. So what I've learned is that passion is a wonderful thing that we should always look for first and foremost, because if someone loves what they do, they'll always keep that alive. I've learned that every individual in the organization can add a tremendous amount. I've learned that every guide has added the layers and layers to Ciclismo Classico, and it's wonderful to see that what I started 20 years ago can be repeated, but can also be enhanced by all their wonderful personalities. So we love you, Ciclismo Guides.
Grazie mille, Lauren.
Thank you, Andrew.